Wednesday morning, another warm, sultry start to the day. Lots of sunshine already starting to beat down. And I tell you what, we're moving into the longest week of the year when it comes to daylight hours. It doesn't seem like it gets dark until after 9:30, and it gets light before 6:30. So that's another, I guess, thing that we'll have to deal with when it comes to the heat, because obviously when you have longer daylight hours, you can stay hotter longer. So that's kind of a no-brainer. Today, though, another day with highs into the mid and upper 90s. The heat index well over 100 degrees, but late this evening, we may see an isolated shower or storm push in from the east. So that's something that we'll watch at least, but I don't think there'll be too many, but that's something that I'll keep my eyes on tonight, though. Becoming fair, warm, muggy again overnight, lows lower to middle 70s. For Thursday, it's looking dry and very hot again, highs into the upper 90s. For Friday, a weak cool front or not so warm front will push on in from the north, and that may spray a late day shower or storm. But highs once again should reach the mid and upper 90s before the front pushes on through. Good news though about this front, it will move far enough to our south to where humidity levels will drop and it won't be as hot this weekend. We'll be 90ish instead of mid and upper 90s, so shaving about maybe 5 to 7 degrees off of those high temperatures at least for the weekend. So it's going to feel a bit more tolerable if you have outdoor activities. It's not going to be as stressful. So great news there. And overnight lows will fall down into the 60s. So at least at night, it's going to feel actually pretty pleasant. So kind of a little break in this. Unfortunately, by Monday, the heat starts to return. Tuesday and Wednesday look to be even hotter. Wednesday could be the hottest day so far this summer season. We may be close to 100 degrees, and it looks like the heat's going to continue through the rest of next week as well. I don't see anything major heading our way. I'll keep looking, and I'll keep looking to see, but I don't see much going on in the tropics just yet, although I think we're going to have an active tropical season. We'll probably talk about that here in a few days, but probably in the short term, I just don't see anything that's going to threaten the coast or give us any relief there. And frontal systems are having a hard time moving on to the south. We'll have this one this weekend, but not a whole lot going on for next week. So this is going to be kind of phase one of the heat wave. We'll have a little break for the weekend, and we'll have phase two coming up for next week. But speaking of that heat, it's going to be getting tougher for our gardens, and lawns are going to be getting a lot of stress here over the next several days, especially if we don't see much of any rain. And the gardens dry out, they burn up. How do you keep them hydrated? You can water early, early, early in the morning, and it helps out. I'm talking about 4 or 5 in the morning. But if you wait until 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning hours, then it gets an initial soaking and then it kind of bakes it. And that's tough on the gardens. If you water at 6, 7 o'clock trying to say, well, at least it's going to stay damp all night, then you run the risk of having some disease on your gardens as well. So it's a really tough go of it. The best thing to do if you can is to get up at 4 or 5 o'clock. But if you can't, then you just are going to be fighting this for probably a couple of weeks until we can get that change in this weather pattern, until we can get some afternoon thunderstorms to help us out. So, it's just going to be a tough 2 weeks for gardens. Some of our gardens, mine's probably going to burn up, or part of it will. So I'll just do the best I can. Hopefully you will too. And hopefully we'll get into the regime where we'll see some afternoon thunderstorms. I am thankful that last week we had that rain and thunder shower activity, because that at least bought us a few days. But the next several days we'll have to keep those gardens pretty hydrated, and hydrated as early in the morning as possible. So that's my recommendation there. But anyway, hey, take care. Try to beat the heat and stay cool today, and we'll talk to you later.